Hello guys, welcome to iTutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with Unit 7 Socialization and Mobility in MMPC 002. And objectives of this unit are: understand the concept of individual role and organizational socialization, discuss the importance of status and socialization, identify the socialization factors and importance of job socialization, explain the process of induction, understand the concept and type of mobility and separation. So let's see the structure of this unit. First of all, there is a concept of organizational socialization. Second is individual and organization, the process of integration, and the self concept and organizational socialization, concept of role and organizational socialization, status and socialization, and socialization factors in organizational socialization, and induction, mobility, separations, and finally there is summary and self-assessment questions also there. So these are the structure of this unit. Let's begin with the concept of organizational socialization. Socialization refers to the process by which persons acquire the knowledge, skills, and disposition that make them more or less able members of their society. We have all undergone this process many times. Certainly, significant socialization occurs during infancy and early childhood. We are born into this world with the potential for a very wide range of behavior, but we learn from our parents and other close associates to behave within a narrower range that is customary and acceptable. People face re-socialization on entering the first grade, joining an athletic team or the scouts, matriculating into college, and learning their first job. With all of this early socialization experience, it might be thought that the adult should easily adapt to new social situation. Actual and anticipatory socialization are vitally important in all our lives. However, we can look in greater depth at one important segment: organizational socialization. A person will be directly involved in this process when he or she leaves college and start working career. Eventually, as managers and professionals, the person will be responsible for the socialization of newcomers and subordinates in his or her organizations. Next is individual and the organization, the process of integration. The individual joining any organization develops new values, attitudes, and behavior appropriate for membership. The problems associated with entrance into and adaptation to work organizations are issues of adult socialization. In complex societies with rapid technological and sociological change, it is impossible to socialize the young child to all future roles. Every individual must face continuing re-socialization to new situations throughout his or her life. One of the most important periods of adult socialization is when the individual is on the boundary of a new organization ready to become a member. Figure 1 illustrates the individual moving through the boundary to become member. The diagram is simple but the process is complex. There is a great deal of difference between being an outsider looking in and being a full-fledged and accepted member. Most organizations select individuals who can become members and require newcomers to behave in appropriate ways. Organizational boundary. The socialization process in this figure, you can just go through this MMPC 002 your study material. There is an individual values, beliefs, attitudes, and behavior patterns obtained, and process of learning and adapting to new expectations and requirements. Organizational socialization, the process of becoming an accepted member, is a reciprocal process. The individual adapts, but so does the organization. Every time an organization takes in a new member too is subject to new influences, increasing likelihood of changes. For example, the opening up of business and others organization is to greater participation by women and minorities not only results in the need to socialize these groups but also require change in the organizations themselves. Self image and membership. Individuals hold a certain image of themselves when entering the organization. This undergoes changes and they interact with the organization and learn new tasks and roles. The new lawyer is likely to have a significantly different self image after she has been in the law firm for 6 months than when she started. Organizational life gives opportunity to test her knowledge and skills and to assess her own strength and weakness. Membership often requires the development of new values appropriate to the position. To become a successful member, the individual must accommodate at least to some degree the goals, values, and practice of the organization. The new see a fresh from examination in accounting theory and practice may have to modify his approach significantly to fit actual organizational practices. We have stressed here the initial process of integrating into the organization, but just as in the world at large, the process is never complete. Later on, the individual may be transferred, promoted, move to another organization, or even change careers. Technological and structural shift may occur, task requirement may be modified, and social groups may change. All of these changes may require the socialization of the person into a new situation. Interaction between individual and organization. How many organizations are you member of? How many affect your life in important ways? These are simple questions but require some though. If you consider all organizations that have an influence, direct or oblique, on your life and behavior, the list would likely be in the hundreds and still probably would not be complete. For example, in driving to school, an organization of which you are voluntary member, your behavior is influenced by the speed limit, a product of governmental institutions. Never the total person. Although we recognize that we are in constant interaction with organizations, we should remember that they never encompass the total person. Organizations are designed to accomplish specific purposes and they engage only a segment of a person in accomplishing these objectives. They are most interested in the specific behavior that affected individual performance in meeting these goals. A person may be a champion, bowler, a great husband and father, a member of the church choir, and a subscriber to Playboy, but these affiliations are likely to be irrelevant to the organization if his task is to put two bolt on the left front door of the cars coming down the assembly line. So, this implies that there is always limited integration or socialization of the total person into the organization. People who perform organizational tasks must be sustained by factors outside the boundary of the organization. The organization is not the total world of the individual, it is not a society. People must fulfill other social roles. Besides, society has shaped them in ways which affect their ability to perform organizational tasks. A man has a marital status, ethnic identification, religious affiliation, a distinctive personality, friends, to name only a few. Daily people come contaminated into the organization. So, never the total organization, just as the organizational never encompass the total, the individual does not comprehend and experience the total organization. The individual's organizational horizon is limited. People in organizations have limited perspective of the total organization because of differences in hierarchical level, task assigned, departmental affiliation, and interpersonal contacts. Moreover, Different people subject to the same organizational influences may have different perceptions. It is often starting for professors who receive evaluation of their courses to find vast and instructor as excellent, while others rate it a disaster. Similarly, workers performing the same task and receiving approximately the same reward sometimes have a significantly different perception about the leadership style and quality of the work environment. It is quite obvious that we perceive and react to new situations in different ways because of past socialization to life and our own personalities. Self concept and organizational socialization. When joining an organization, you are not just selling your physical and mental abilities. Like it or not, you are also bringing along your psychic self in the bargain. Your own self concept plays a major part in the socialization process. Self concept is the way you perceive and judge yourself. It is your way of thinking about the kind of person you really are. So, self concept is of a vital importance in the process of organizational socialization. When the self concept is compatible with one's organizational role and requirements, the person is likely to be motivated, oriented to task performance, and satisfied. This does not imply that self concept is totally fixed. Indeed, one of the important aspect of organizational socialization is the potential modification in self concept. The MBA graduate who thought of herself in passive terms may be thrust into the leadership position where she is effective and gratified. Part of the organizational socialization process may be learning to develop a self concept appropriate for the new situation. Each of us learn to construct somewhat different self for the different kind of situation in which we are called on to perform and for the different kinds or roles we are expected to take. It is unlikely that we can change our basic personalities and value system substantially, but we can develop new social selves in terms of new attitude, competencies, behavior patterns, and ways of relating to others in different situations. To some extent, we can redesign ourselves to fit the role requirement of new situation. Okay, so this is about today's session. And in this unit, the concept of role and organizational socialization we will discuss on next video onwards. If you have any doubt, you can contact us on our number also. Also, you can comment it on our comment box also. Thank you so much.